Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about another big development when it comes to foreign policy. And this is a development that is going to be spun by everybody. So, we're going to go over what the proposal was, the U.S. response, and how the U.S. would view that proposal. We're going to talk about the other nations and their response to the proposal. And then we're going to talk about how this is material you will see again, even though it's going to be kind of overshadowed at the moment, and how it's a really good illustration about the nature of foreign policy and how what we want, in this case me, isn't always the foreign policy move. Okay, so what happened? According to reporting, Netanyahu's government has decided that they're kind of okay with a regional security force, but it's not the one we've been talking about. They proposed having Arab nations come in and secure aid convoys and distribute aid. Okay. What would the U.S. response to this be? They'd be all on board. They'd fund it completely. The U.S. would 100% be behind this. Why? Because it achieves all of their goals. One, it helps get the area ready for a regional security force. And it demonstrates, hey, they're here to help. Two, it addresses the aid issue. Three, it addresses the aid issue in a way that doesn't allow the existing power structures in Gaza to take credit for it. They don't get brownie points for handing out the aid. Those brownie points, they go to the regional force. U.S. 100% would have been on board with this. So what did the Arab nations say? I am obviously going to paraphrase this a little bit, but basically they burst out laughing. And then we're like, wait, you're serious? Do you not remember a few months ago when we all urged restraint and said not to do a ground offensive because it would do this? And now you want us to come in and clean up the mess for you? No, you broke it, you bought it. Then they, kind of let them sweat for a minute. And we're like, okay, the reality is we are kind of on board with a regional security force. After. Also, it's going to be under the command of the Americans, not you. Also, it's going to be in support of a two-state solution. That's more or less how the conversation went. Okay. So, my personal view on this, and it's important as an illustration. My personal view on this, I've been very open. In covering this topic, I have done everything I can to keep my personal opinion out of it, with the exception of aid. The aid needs to be the priority. All other foreign policy constraints should come second. So on that level, I wish the Arab nations had agreed. I'm somebody that has a years-long record of saying the United States does not need to put boots inside Gaza, period. We can't help in that way. It's not something that the U.S. would be a benefit long term. It would not help them. It would not help the U.S. It wouldn't help anybody. That being said, if Biden came out tomorrow and said, we're establishing a beachhead to distribute aid, I wouldn't be happy about it. I also wouldn't object, because the situation in the North is that messed up. So, personally, I really wish the Arab nations had agreed. But that is based on the generally accepted view that people should have food and water. That's a moral reason. Foreign policy doesn't have anything to do with morality. From a foreign policy standpoint, the reported response from Arab nations was nothing short of brilliant. In it, they signaled exactly what the region expects the, quote, day after to look like. And they had the conversation. And that doesn't seem like a lot because it didn't go anywhere. By having the conversation and allowing this invitation to be extended, they made it clear that everybody knows exactly how bad the situation is. I can assure you that if there are ever international proceedings about this event, these situations, and how everything has played out, these conversations are going to be a major component of it. So that does not help the people who will not be around for any international proceedings if they occur. The aid has to get in, particularly up north. All other foreign policy constraints should come second. That's there. It's bad. These developments, you're going to see this information again at a later date. The other thing that's important to note is that based on what was said, the reporting on what was said during these conversations, it does appear that the Arab nations that would be required to be on board with a regional security force afterward, they totally are. Those pieces are falling into place faster than I think most people imagined. So if there is a bit of good news that comes out of us, it's that. We'll see how this develops. My understanding is that there are supposed to be follow-up talks. If I had to guess, it's a limitation on the involvement, saying, okay, fine, we get it, at least secure that pier. That is gut. That's not, there's nothing to back that part of that up. That's my gut feeling about what the counter offer is going to be. I have no idea how they would respond to that. My guess is they're going to say no to that too. So that's what's occurred. Again, you'll see the information later on. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.